gonna be on camera for a little bit, so I didn't do anything. Back of the illustrious head panty. So I just wanted to show you what I'm going to be using to construct the wig and the different options you have. Just to make it easier for you guys to see, I'm going to be using this wig cap. It does come in other colors. It does come with a lace front, and it comes with a built-in back for the elastics. I do use this one, so this is another one. I had a different color. So that's the construction, and then the frontal, I just cut out the part. But not everyone has access to those. They are on eBay, but they're kind of expensive for what they are. So you can use the usual things like the dome caps. I have used the dome caps before. So I made this wig for a friend of mine. And if you see inside, the base of it is the dome cap, and then the frontal is there. And it holds. I actually like the way dome caps, I like the way dome caps actually work and really hold the wig and keep it strong. The main reason I don't use dome caps anymore is because when you wash it, it takes longer for the actual cap itself to dry. So you don't want to worry about mildew and all things like that going inside of your cap. So they also have stretch mesh dome caps like this. These are cool. This one is the deluxe weaving cap, and it looks like that. Very similar to the wig cap that I showed you before, but it doesn't have the lace in the front. It has these like adjustable straps in the back. So it's more your personal preference. I would suggest trying out different ones and seeing which ones you like. Like my new backdrop, it's furry. When I get sick of this, I'm gonna make a jacket. So what you're gonna need, obviously, is whatever you're sewing your hair onto, your bundles and frontal thread. I prefer to use nylon thread. I find it to be stronger and you get way more of it. Hook needles. I normally use this one. I just happen to find this one today, but either one's fine. Wig T-pins to hold the wefts into place. Clips. They don't have to be necessarily duckbill. Just something that keeps the hair out of the way. Scissors, like a brush and a comb just to comb through it. I use a canvas blockhead. It's pretty much the size of my head. To use this video, I'll be using this like wig tripod, but normally if I'm making it off camera, I use this. It's a table clamp. I find that this one works really well, and you can get these things off of like Amazon, or Bobby Pins on here sells these wig making accessories, so also support your fellow YouTuber. Let's get started. What you want to try and make sure of is that, but in the middle of the canvas head there is a seam going down. So you want to make sure that you try to align your cap to be directly center. I pinned it down in the back, and you can tell what side is right side up because these clip into the back. So here's the frontal. So as you can see in a frontal, that big dip is the center. And on this cap there is a center line. It's kind of like it basically tells you where your frontal is going to go. So you want to try to align that dip with the front dip. So I'm gonna pin this down. You can actually cut some of this off because you're not gonna need it unless you're planning to like re-add baby hairs or anything like that. The seam is right here. It was silent before I started recording. So the seam once again is right here. So I'm gonna bring this down like that. And if you're making it, you think like, oh, that's too low, like that's cool. Just remember, you may end up making your wig shorter than it needs to be. You want to make sure that it is as flat as possible. Okay, cool. So now that's there like that. And it's okay if when you're pinning it down that the lace in the front buckles. What's most important is the back. You want to make sure that's flat as possible. As you can see, there are these tabs on either side. One here, one here. So that's the line that I used to measure how to put this evenly on the sides. I screwed that back to the line, and I'm holding this very tautly, and I'm going to put a pin in the back on the band. Do not put it on the actual lace, because especially being taut, it could pull and you don't want to tear it. So I just put extra ones in that band that's across. That's what you sew through. So you just want to make sure, you want to keep looking at it, make sure everything's even. That's what it looks like from the back. Bring it close. Boom. So I decided to use my smaller needle. Oh, there we go. So what you do, if you can see, there is a band that goes toward the end of the frontal, and then it's the lace. So where I pinned it, right here, is the beginning of the band. I go under, I go through the mesh, and then up through the frontal. And just pull it through. Now you want to make sure that you keep your stitches close together. You want the frontal to lay as flat as possible. So now you're going to go through, and you see how there are now two sides to this thread, the top and bottom. So whatever direction you're sewing, so for me I'm sewing left to right, I'm going to wrap my needle around the top threads. So I'll be wrapping it around number 1. So as I do this, I go around twice. I go 1, 2. I pull that through, and there you go. And then that's a stitch. And let's say you did it and it's kind of loose. To tighten it, you pull the opposite direction you're going. So because I'm going left to right, if I want to tighten the stitch, I'll pull it to the left and it will make it tighter. Okay, so now I'm at the end, so there's no more band. I go through, and I do another one, do another stitch, then I cut it, so now it's just a 2. I make a knot. I'm not one of those people that can sew and like make knots. Also, the good thing is when you're using a mesh is that you can see through it and make sure you're not sewing onto your to your canvas head. Just gonna make a knot, regular old knot, and then clip it as close as possible. Boom. Now your frontal is sewn down. It's flat. It's beautiful. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be meeting the edge of the frontal around. I'm gonna keep doing that, and then we'll go from there. You always want to sew as much as you can into the frontal. For me, that makes it just makes it that much more solidified as a bondable wig, and it gives you a little bit of breathing room down here on the sides because this is where the elastic bands are. And I'm just using wig pins, T-pins to hold the hair in place. So I'm just doing it slightly above the bottom seam. I sew the wefts the exact same way I sew my frontals. On the first and last part of the weft that's on this row, I sew through, but I always sew underneath on all the other parts. You know, this does, they say compromise the weft, but it's more secure for me. So I push through. I'm just kind of going where the entry point was for the frontal. Pull that through. So now that's through the weft and the frontal, so everything is now connected. And now you just go under the weft. And the reason why you're going around the weft and not through the weft is because when you sew through the weft, you could be breaking hairs and things of that nature. So sewing through the weft, sewing around the weft will keep the hair on the wig and intact. Nothing will come off, but your wefts will be able to be used for longer. You'll be able to keep your wig longer. So it's up to you, but these connecting pieces that run all the way down like this, those are what obviously are the seams of the wig cap. If you sew through those, it makes your wig tighter because it doesn't have those seams to move. So it's your choice if you sew through those or not, and I'm going to show you how I end off. So this next one will be the last one. 2. So then what I normally do is I'll do a small one beside it through the weft. This is always a plus for having long nails. Right? Then I cut it right at the base of the needle and I tie a knot. So I sew one close to the frontal, then I sew through the weft into the edge of the frontal, and I just re-line up everything, and then I go through the weft again into the frontal. And I just do my stitches over the other way. And you just keep going back and forth, fold it over until you reach, and then you just start another weft. So I'll be back when I'm closer to being done and you can see how I finish off sewing. Alright, so we're finally toward the end. So this is just this last piece. So once again, pull it taut. And then, it might actually fit perfectly. And you're gonna, what I do is I line it flush to the frontal. I'm going through the same band that I sewed through before. Just doing it as normal, so around the weft. So now for this last one, through the weft, through the frontal. Cut it. And now just cut off any extra weft. So this is it. Finished. Well, at least the sewing part. So I'm going to cut off the inside lace. Okay, so this is the finished construction. The sides are wavy because of the braids I put in. This is pre-plucking, pre-styling. This is exactly 2 bundles. This is all I had left from the second bundle. I still have a full third. Not even touched. What I love about this is you can comb it this way, get different colors, comb it this way, different colors. What I would suggest doing before you start even doing the frontal is spraying some water on the back and molding the hair to cover the wefts and the end of the frontal. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please stay tuned for the next part of the styling and how to make it look all pretty. I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. Have a blessed day. Chuck in the deuce.